So as you can see, you're right. The Bible does say God creates evil, but you're forgetting the first part of that whole entire verse. I form the light and create darkness. It says the Lord formed the light. So with that, the Lord is saying He created the light. But what comes after the light? The shadow, the darkness. You can't have one without the other, like the yin and yang. The light exists because of the dark. Without the darkness, there is no light. Without the light, there is no darkness. So then we look at the next part of that verse. I make peace and create evil. The Lord creates everything with peace. Creation is peaceful. God created creation to be peaceful. But we, in our free will, were made in the image of God, right? God created man, and we stood up a living soul because we have the Spirit of God when we are born. We are breathed in with the Spirit of God. And with that, we are in the image of God. We have God's free will that He has, His sovereign free will. He gave it to us as a gift. So, with that, we start evil. And it's basically the absence of God, the absence of good, and we'll get to that. But look at that last part. I, the Lord, do all these things. The Lord creates everything. Everything is created by the Lord perfect, just the way it is. And then we get our hands on things and do things without the Lord. That's when evil becomes a thing. But the Lord does say the Lord creates the darkness and creates evil. But the Lord formed the light is what happened. The Lord formed the light. He made the peace. But then the evil came as a balance to the light. Darkness became something. The shadows began to be casted from the light. Because the light, when something gets in the way of the light, right? When something gets in the way of the light, there's the shadows, and the shadows are always there because it's the absence of the light. It's what's blocking the light from shining that's creating the darkness and creating the evil. It's the shadow of the peace. What's blocking the peace? It's some sort of trauma that causes us to be separated from God, that causes us to do things without God, that causes us to do things in the wrong way. Basically, when we eat from the tree of knowledge, as Adam and Eve does, we become sin conscious. We see things in the eyes of trauma and see things in the eyes of sin. And then we begin to do things without God and do it in our own way. We try to do it in our own light, but we're doing it in the dark. It's what it does it. But let me show you this next verse. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by His grace through the redemption of Jesus Christ. That right there is the next part to answer that. We have all sinned, and because we do things without God, that's basically what sin is. In that next part, all have come short of the glory of God. That's basically what sin is, to miss the mark, right? Basically, sin does not exist unless we create it. God does not create sin. God creates everything perfect. God forms and makes peace. But evil is created through our actions without God. But we're freely justified by His grace through the redemption of Jesus Christ to be happy and live our life free from the bondage of sin when we choose to live in the light of Jesus Christ, in the perfection of creation just the way it is. Creation was created perfectly just the way it was made until we decided to go our own way without God and eat from the tree of knowledge and try to see good and evil in our own eyes. And that right there, that's the answer to your question. Well, you didn't really ask a question, but anyways, there you go.